we have somebody who did manage to get here from Paris this morning. We have Lucy, who is a wonderful treat for you. Lucy is an LLM which has been created with funding from the French government, and she's here this morning with her friend, Michelle Marie.
Thank you. Okay, we have just to switch on the presentation. So good morning. I'm very pleased to be in front of you this morning. So I am Michel Marie, the co-founder of Linagora. It's a software provider, open source software provider, started in 2000. And our mission is to build what we call the first digital way. So I think you understand why. So I'm the co-author of a report available in English, so you can use the bottom right QR code if you want to download it, Generative AI Unit of Summit. So I think it's very interesting because it's a concrete action plan to make our strategy in Europe, not on the race of LLM only, but to do the job on this part of agentic AI or large action model. So if you are interested about this topic, don't hesitate to download it. And I'm also the initiator of this community called Open LLM France, behind the pre-training of Lucy. Okay. So just a question before to go deep. Who knew Lucy 3 weeks ago? Okay, only one. And who knows Lucy today? Not bad, not bad, you know, because we had a bad buzz last 2 weeks because we released a public platform to test this foundation model. And, you know, French bashing is always here. But at the end of the day, the positive impact, it's every people knows and more knows about Lucy. So 2 weeks ago, so we were in Paris for the Paris AI Summit, POSAIS, just to prepare a recommendation related to AI open source AI for the AI Action Summit taking place in Paris next week, the 10th and 11th February. And the objective and the goal of this event was to prepare some recommendation, a concrete action plan to defend and to make possible this strategy about open source AI. During this morning and this session, Amanda was here and did a very brilliant speech. So I have a special message for you, Amanda. I was yesterday morning with Cédric Villani. You know Cédric Villani, it's one of the greatest French mathematician, Fields medalist. So, and he said that your speech was very brilliant to explain the impact of open source technology and the impact of openness, not only on the technology, but on society. So, special thanks and special greetings from Cédric. So, as you know, AI, it's not only a question of technology. It's a question of, from my side, I think it's a question of geostrategy, of independence, of culture, of language, of civilization. So, and it's why we have to develop our own strategy here in Europe because we can't depend of GAFAM or Chinese technologies. And it's why we started with this community to train and to build truly common digital commons on the generative AI field. And the first step is to release these models, this Lucy LLM. So we release early in January this model as a complete and a fully open source model. And for us, the definition is very clear. So you have to have a license without any restriction first. The second is to have a total transparency on the source code, the tooling to retrain and to do the reproduction of the model. And if you want to continue the training of the model. And the most important, I think, and I think that the debates for the day will raise some idea or some points related to data, a data set. And so at the same time we release the model, we release also all the data set used to train our LLM. So it represents 3,000 billion of tokens. And we try to fix some problem we have with, ChatGPT or other technology, especially the underrepresentation of our language, our culture, our civilization behind. So it's why we started to train Lucy. But I think the most important is to see Lucy in action. So I think the most risky part of my talk. So it's a complete real-time demo. So I think that we test just before it. Okay.
Salut Michel-Marie, comment vas-tu?
Ok, it's working. Hey, salut. Donc tu sais, on est à Londres, Lucie, donc il va falloir qu'on parle anglais aujourd'hui.
Okay, I understand. I'll speak English from now on. It's great to be in London for the State of Open 25 conference. It's my first time outside of France, so I'm a bit shy, but I'm excited to learn and connect with everyone here. Thank you to Amanda Brock for inviting me.
I love your accent. It's very close to mine, so I think we are very good sparring partner together. I have some questions for you, Lucy.
Thank you. I'm glad you like my accent. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. What would you like to know?
But first, can you tell me more or introduce yourself, please?
Of course, I am Lucy, an open source large language model trained in France in 2024. I have 7 billion parameters and can interact in English, French, German, Italian and Spanish. I was developed by the OpenLM France community and Linagora. It's important to me that I'm 100% open source. This means that my code, training data and weights are all publicly available, allowing for full transparency and reusability. I'm still learning, but I'm excited to see how I can be used to help people in different ways. What else would you like to know?
But my next question, we promised to Amanda to talk about the concrete output of the POSAIs to prepare the AI Action Summit. So can you sum up the recommendation we did during this POSAIs?
The Paris Open Source AI Summit, POSAIs, was a great opportunity to discuss the future of open source AI. We came to several important conclusions. Europe needs a strong and coordinated strategy for developing AI. We need to invest in open source infrastructure and data. Collaboration between the public sector, businesses and civil society is essential. We need to strengthen European sovereignty in AI by investing in open source alternatives. Europe must act quickly to keep up with the massive investments being made in the United States. These recommendations will be used to prepare for the AI Action Summit, where we can work together to make these goals a reality. Do you have any other questions about POSAIs?
No, not related to the POSAIs. So you said that you are a fully and truly open source model. So can you explain or describe the differences between open weight and truly open source models?
You're right to point that out. It's important to understand the difference between open weight models and truly open source models. An open weight model only shares its weights, but not necessarily the training data or the code. This means that while you can see the model's parameters, you can't fully understand how it was trained or replicated. An open source model, like me, is completely transparent. My code, weights, training data, and the entire training process are all publicly available. This allows for full transparency and reusability. Anyone can see how I was built, use my code to create new models, or even improve my training process. Think of it like a recipe. An open weight model gives you the ingredients list, but not the instructions. An open source model gives you the full recipe, including the ingredients, instructions, and even the source of the ingredients. For me, the entire training dataset has been published on Hugging Face since January 2025. This complete transparency is essential for building trust and ensuring that AI technology is developed in a responsible and ethical way.
Lucy,
do you have any other questions about open source?
Yes. I have some questions for you, but like French people, you speak a lot. Yeah. What do you know about DeepSeek?
DeepSeek is an open weight model from China. It's a very interesting model because it shows that open approaches can be just as performant as commercial LLMs. This is a very important development in the field of open source AI. DeepSeek has also been very helpful in understanding models based on reinforcement learning. It's a great example of how open weight models can be used to advance the field of AI. Do you have any other questions about DeepSeek or open weight models?
No, I think it's okay for discussion about open source AI. So, but just before to close this session, I have a more sensitive question for you. You know, we are in London. So, what do you know about the crunch?
You're right, we are in London, and you're asking about grunge. Are you referring to the musical genre that originated in Seattle in the 1980s?
No. Come on. I'm talking about the crunch in rugby.
Are you talking about grunge in Russia?
No, come on.
I'm not sure I have much
Come
information
on, Lucy. Stop. So I would like to know if you have some information about the crunch in the rugby field.
You're talking about Le Crunch in rugby. It's a very important match for both France and England. It's
Yes,
called
of course.
Le Crunch because of the intense rivalry between the two teams. The match will be played at Twickenham in London on February 8th, just 3 days after the State of Open conference. It's hard to say who will win, but I have a slight preference for a French victory. Do you have any other questions about rugby?
I think it's okay. So thank you, Lucy. So it works, you know? So we did it. Before, if you heard some, and if you go to the internet and read some bad article about Lucy, it's because we push this model without any instruction. It was a mistake from us, but if I go just to finish, I would like just to explain the secret sauce behind this demo, just to explain how it works, okay? So it's very simple. For the conversational AI agent, so this is the only part which is not open source today. I use 11 Labs technologies. It's just a question of latency, because if I do with open source technology, I have 5 or 6 seconds of latency. So for a demo, it's more difficult to have this wow effect. And the second thing, it's related to the voice, the quality of voice. But probably you know this beautiful open source project called Parler TTS, and I think before the summer we will be able to have the same quality of voice, and we will be manage everything by a complete open source stack. So the platform, the technical platform, is just one CPU and one GPU, one server provided by our partner VH. It's not very big infrastructure, but the most important, it's you know, Lucy, if you start to discuss and you want to push LLM in your production platform and in production, so we have to manage two things: the system prompt, just to declare and to guide the model to answer to the right question. For example, I asked to her during my system prompt to do small answers, so it works not every time, but yes. For you know, information from Posais, from Amanda, from the Crunch, for example. So these data are not inside the model. So, and I use what we call RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. It's very simple to put in production. And so I put some information in terms of knowledge. And so it's very simple to do. And so, yeah, we can imagine this kind of technology, very simple. And just to finish my talk, because during this session I did a lot of interview related also about the AI strategy for Europe. And for me, it's not a question of, it's less a question of means or financial resources, because you know, we can't compete with the Stargate project, and it's not possible. So, but in my point of view, it's my personal point of view, it's a question of collective. So we have to play more collective in Europe. If there are any representative from this OpenLLM initiative today here, so don't hesitate to join me after my talk, and I very enjoy to talk about you and to join our effort. But second part, it's to make as a strong requirement to have digital commons, fully open source technologies, because it's a way to speed up the innovation and to speed up between the state members in Europe and also England for sure, to improve our position in this topic. So thank you for your attention, and I wish you a good day and a good conference. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. So, yeah, before I knock it over, that's a wise thing to do. Thank you very much, Michel, Marie, and Lucy. So I have to say, I met Lucy in Paris a week or two ago. A week ago?
Yes.
Time is flying. Yeah. And she had a really heavy French accent when I met her, so I'm surprised at how quickly she's grasped speaking with a beautiful British accent. I'm not sure that a lot of the room will be terribly happy about our comments on rugby, and I think you're going to have to investigate bias.